Hello everyone, welcome back for some more Let's Read Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. We just killed Arkwood, and I'm sure it was all a dream. Apparently, you cannot accept that as reality. People told me that that is not even an option last time. It would just loop back around, which is, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I wake to see a dull gray morning light. It's quiet. Even the pitter-patter of rain is nowhere to be heard. The sky is still blanketed in clouds, despite the rain having ceased. What a beautiful sounding morning. After taking one last deep breath that I accidentally cut off because I thought he finished breathing, I heaved myself off the bed. I could barely sleep last night. Whenever I thought I might drift off, the scene I witnessed would play out in the back of my mind. Bro needs those melatonin gummies. Those things are real good. At times like these, possessing memories or clarity of thought can really be a pain. Just when you've got something you'd like to forget, your mind drags you back to relive the experience all over again. I thought about that. I'm like, what if we could delete thoughts, like memories? I feel like that's something that could do good, but I feel like it would do more bad. I feel like there's more bad that can come about it. Like, you know, other people forcing it, for example, right? I don't know. I thought quite a bit about that. It is true that most people forget their dreams pretty quickly there. Especially nightmares. Like, you'll remember them for a bit, but then, you know, as the day goes on, you usually forget them. If you're not forgetting them, who knows? Maybe it was reality. Exactly. It was all just a dream. I'd like my brain to hurry and forget about it already. There's a knock at the door. The clock tells me it's just before 6 a.m. Who'd come knocking this early in the morning? Okay, so something else people pointed out that I thought was really interesting that I didn't realize at all. This scene here. Wait. We can wait, hold up. Wait. Oh my god, we can just straight go back? Wait. Oh my god, wait. Okay, wait. Okay, people pointed this out. So, okay, this is sleep, right? So this is now where we are. But, okay, I'm gonna go back. Yeah. Because I do want to... Because when people pointed this out, I was like, huh. There was a few things awkward about this scene in particular. Okay? So, I'm just gonna bring this up because this is something super interesting. Okay, Okay, what's the fast forward? Okay, whoop, too much, maybe. Okay, so this... Whoop. Good, stop. Okay, hold up. Kohaku went to look for you. Hisui never says Kohaku. Right? Hisui never says Kohaku. We know that. That's a thing. Right? The other thing... Let me just see here. There was... Right? Put them in the wash. Well, I mean, I don't need to go back to it, but she does say, you know, oh, I can cook you a meal, right? As we know, Hisui can't cook. They are planting the seeds of these two switching really early. At least I think that's what they're going with that. Also, okay, how do I turn off the autoplay? Okay, how do I... Toggle auto scroll on and off, okay. Alright. Oh, I'm not using this here. I should be using that more. Yeah, super interesting. Super interesting stuff there. You know, makes you wonder. Right? Like this, I feel like is more Hisui, right? But it is interesting. Another thing people pointed out, and a couple people pointed out in the first part, is the hospital background changing, but I'm going to be honest, I didn't even think much about it because as someone who has been in hospitals a number of times, they move you around rooms quite a bit. There's like, emerge and long-term care and stuff. I just thought it was meant to show passing of time, personally. Some people think there's more to that. I personally don't, right? I don't think there's anything going to be with the hospital, but we'll see. But that, when people pointed that out, because I did find it strange that she was like, oh, let me cook you a meal. And I'm like, Hisui would never say that. And I didn't parse that she said kohaku, because she never says kohaku by name.
申し訳ありません。お目覚めでいらしたのですね。
いや、こっちこそ驚かせてごめん。昨日の夕方から寝ていたから早く目を覚ましたんだ。それで翡翠の方こそどうしたんだ。こんな早くから何かあったのか。
Let's see if this scene raises further suspicion. Hisui falls silent and gives me a hesitant look. Upon closer inspection, I realize she's cradling my freshly laundered clothing for the day.
着替えを持ってきてくれたのか。
はい。重ねて申し訳ありません。お見苦しいところをお見せしました。
What? I eye Hisui quizzically. Hisui stays silent. I don't recall saying anything I'd describe as unbecoming, but I decide not to push the matter.
とにかくありがとう。制服はそこに置いていいよ。すぐに着替えて今に行くから。
はい。それでは失礼します。
Was it her coming in the room? Is that what was unbecoming? Hisui quietly heads for the door, but stops just short of it. She swiftly turns to face me again.
四季様。お時間があるのでしたら、入浴の用意もいたしますが。
Early morning bath is pretty nice.
入浴って朝から？
It'll wake you up, buddy.
はい。四季様はひどく汚れています。学校に行く前にお体を流された方がよろしいのではないでしょうか。
Alright, why do you know he's awfully dirty? Now that she mentions it, I am a mess. Oh, he must be just visually a mess right now. Which is much of a surprise considering I passed out in the middle of a park yesterday. Oh, yeah, okay.
そうだな。
His hair is probably, pretty rough. Right?
この時間なら学校にも十分間に合うし。
かしこまりました。では、20分ほど経ちましたら浴場においでください。
Is that how long it takes to draw up a bath? That feels like a long time. Hisui places the uniform down, then leaves the room. And again, I usually jump in as it's filling, basically. It's still only 6 a.m. With nothing else to do, I spend 20 minutes idly staring at the ceiling. He's just like me for real. Just kidding, I use my phone. I grind away on FGO. Shoutouts to me getting Arkwid yesterday. It only took me a lot of inspiration, let's say. The thoughts throbbing at the back of my mind are washed away by the water. Seated beside the bathtub, I upend the bucket over my head and take a deep breath as the chilly water soaks through my hair. That was such a horrible dream. Why would I even dream about murdering some woman I've never seen before? I mean, okay, let's be real. Intrusive thoughts hit everyone. It's not acting on them, which makes you a good person. Unfortunately, you acted on them. You really acted on them. I'm greeted by these sorts of dreams purely because I'm unaccustomed to living in the mansion. I'm dreading what else is to come.
そうだよな。気を引き締めないと。
I run the cool water over my head one more time, rubbing and cleaning every part of my body. My towel just barely grazes my throat before a stinging pain hits me. What?
なんだこれ。
I look at my neck in the mirror. Gross. My throat looks red and swollen. Huh? People also pointed out the whole obsession with the neck thing. duh, vampires, which, fair. I honestly sometimes forget that Tsukihime is about vampires. I really do, because let's be real, every vampire is like, yeah, you call us vampires, but, you know, true ancestors, dead apostles, Oni, like, they're all like, yeah, you can call us a vampire, but, you know, there's like another layer to it. I return to my room and change into my uniform. It's only a little past 7 a.m. Still bewildered at how a simple bath can make me feel so much better. Gamers, good advice. I grab my bag and leave the room. God, the place I'm staying at now with my parents, we have like a 4D shower where you got like angles shooting at you. Like you got the upper head, and then you got the ones that comes out the walls, and then you got a handheld one. It's super cool. I look forward to showers every day now. It's so nice. Kawaku steps out of the parlor just as I come down the stairs.
それになんだかさっぱりしていらっしゃいます。もしかしてお風呂上がりなんですか？
ええ、さっきまで入っていました。すごいですね、琥珀さん。そういうのわかるものなんですか？
Kohaku feels like the type to have like a peephole into the bathroom, but not for like pervy purposes, but for like evil purposes. She probably has a way to like lock that room and make the water not stop rising.
一目瞭然ですよ。チキさん髪が乾ききってませんから。
Is this house so old style they lack a hairdryer?
お風呂上がりだとチキさんは一層可愛らしくなるんですね。
I don't think that's something to be proud of to hear. I have to avert my gaze from her lighthearted smile. As I am now, her pure innocent expression does nothing but make my chest ache.
ちょっと待っててくださいね。朝ごはんこれから支度をしますから。
Breakfast? Something edible. What? Buddy? Even that is enough to make me recall the color of blood. I don't know what type of breakfasts you're being served here, bro. The thought leaves me with an even less of an appetite than usual. Just have a nice little salad, maybe some miso soup.
そうですね。今朝は洋風でいいですか？
What? Like toast?
ああ、うん。基本的にどっちでもいいんですけど。そっか、朝ごはんか。あんまりにもお風呂が気持ちよかったから忘れてた。
そうなんですか？四季さんは昨夜も食べていませんから、お腹の音で目を覚ましたのかなって翡翠ちゃんと話してたんですけど。
いや、単純に寝すぎただけだよ。子供の頃から小食だったから、一食二食抜くのはよくあることだったし。
On the one hand, it's not healthy to do that. But on the other, that's what I do. I will I'll have days where I will not eat, and it's just like, if I'm not hungry, I won't eat, which, yeah, I know it's not good for you, but the alternative is me eating and feeling bad, so.
はあ、言われてみると四季さんって贅肉のないいい体をしていますものね。
そんなこだわりはなかったけど、言われてみれば有馬の家では野菜ばっかり食べてた気がします。
Interesting. I don't know. I feel like anybody, any man worth their salt would kill for meat on a stick. When I was discharged from the hospital, the doctor told me to avoid anything that's hard on the digestive system, but I think I would have avoided meat even if he hadn't told me to. One way or another, meat just reminds me of death. Oh wait, maybe you are a vegetarian. That's like the most vegetarian thing I've heard.
好き嫌いはないんですね。それでしたら安心してお食事を用意できます。さあ、すぐにお作りしますから。居間で待っていてくださいな。
Swear to God if she comes out with like, and here's your English breakfast, some blood pudding, some blood sausage, some cranberry juice. Kawaku quickly turns to leave, but I stop her, feeling like I won't be able to pass anything through my throat as things are now.
ああ、いいんだ、琥珀さん。今日は食欲がないから、このまま学校に行くよ。秋葉にもそう伝えておいてくれ。
I turn and head for the front door. But as soon as I do, a firm pair of hands grips my arm.
四季さん
I wasn't expecting that. Kwaku looks angrier than I've ever seen her.
なんてことを言い出すんですか。四季さん、今朝は鏡をご覧になってないんですか。
いや、鏡なら風呂場で見たけど。
嘘です。ご自分の顔を一度でも見ているなら、そんなことは言えません。
Kwaku is seriously mad. Now that I think about it, when I glanced at myself in the mirror earlier, I didn't just look a little pale, I was ashen white.
いや、でも大丈夫だって。俺はもともと血の気が少ないし、人より顔色が悪く見えるだけというか。
Got that neat complexion.
ダメです。朝ごはんを食べないと大きくなれないんですから。食欲がないようでしたら病人食にいたしますから、どうぞ食堂にいらしてください。
It is true, it's better to have at least something light, something to get you going. Still clenching my arm, Kawaku drags me into the dining room. Guess there's no fighting it. I still don't really feel like having breakfast, but if Kawaku is this insistent, then I have no other choice. Hey, remember when we killed a woman? I thought Hisui was asleep back there. I thought she was just chilling on the wall, just sleeping.
おはようございます、兄さん。お体の具合はよろしいのですか。
Can't say for certain, but Akiha sounded a little reserved just then. I'd wager that her concern for my well-being might be overriding her usual firmness.
おはよう。体の方は、まあ、それなりに調子いいよ。
I take my seat at the table.
それでは食べやすいお雑炊などをご用意いたしますね。ちょっとだけお待ちください。
Soylent. Kawaku leaves the room in a flurry. She's probably heading for the kitchen in the mansion's west wing. Which leaves me alone with the two others in the dining room. The unusually restrained Akiha in Hisui, who has taken up her spot against the wall. It's incredibly awkward to say the least.
兄さん、昨夜のことですけど、公園で倒れていたというのは本当なんですか。
And could you imagine that you tried to take my cell phone away?
ああ、自分でもいまいち覚えてないけど、琥珀さんと翡翠がそう言うんならそうなんじゃないか。
もう他人事のようにおっしゃらないでください。兄さんは体が弱いんですから、危ないと感じたら屋敷に連絡を入れてください。
Contact how?
迎えのものを行かせますから。
Contact how, Akiha? You took my cell phone away and said it was a degenerate thing. Oh, what? You want me to use a payphone? Those things that don't exist anymore? What? You want me to grab another person and say, can I please use your cell phone? You know, the scam that gets cell phones stolen? Do better, Akiha.
あのな、小学生じゃないんだから、そんなのは必要ないよ。どんなに気分が悪くたって自分一人で帰ってこれる。
それでは兄さんはまだ子供なんですね。昨日は一人で帰ってこれなかったんですから。
Are you really coming after him for this?
昨日は特別だ。あんなことはめったにない。だいたいな、俺は慢性的な貧血持ちなだけで体が弱いわけじゃない。いちいち秋葉に心配される筋合いはないよ。昨日は単に致命的に間が悪かっただけなんだ。
I'm sorry, of what poor timing? I'm speechless right now. Shiki literally said dead ass. Oh my god, what? Like, I know this game takes place in the year when he would say that, but it's killing me that he said it. Bro, just dead ass poor timing. Give Shiki broccoli hair next.
致命的だなんてバカなことは言わないでください。
Oh, they did it for a pun in Japanese. Okay, no, that's fair. Okay, because let's go to. Okay, so if we go to, we play, and we can quick jump. Okay, I wish they had the thing to replay audio. I like that feature in other ones. Okay, but yeah, just it was a pun.
ご自分の体のことでしょ。
Okay.
屋敷に帰られたばかりだというのに、 兄さんに死なれたら私はどうすればいいんです。
Okay, no, that's a really fun way to translate that pun. I like it. Akiha is seriously mad. I'm a little surprised that she cares this deeply.
兄さんは軽率すぎます。もう少しご自分をいたわってあげてください。
いや、俺だってあまり無理はしてないよ。部活もやってないし、医者の言うことは全部守ってるし。これ以上いたわれって言うんなら、どっかのサナトリウムにでも入るしかないんじゃないか？
He's being super real about that, right? At a certain point, like, people are like, oh, you know, treat yourself better. And he's like, well, I'm doing everything, and it's still not great. It's just a thing that occurs when I'm sick.
ええ。できることならそうしてしまいたいぐらいです。
Oh.
どこかの孤島でも買い取って、そこで反省していただくのもありですね。
That's a bit much. Despite her pouty averted gaze, Akiha says something truly frightening in a completely casual tone. The scariest part of all that is for her, what she's talking about isn't out of the question. That's the whole, like, you know, oh, Tony Stark bought me Netflix. And he's like, oh, the subscription's like, no, the service. You know, that sort of, like, joke there. The really bad one. I mean, it's the same thing.
いいわ。今回は何事もなかったので不問にしてあげます。でも、次はありませんからね、兄さん。
After giving me a piece of her mind, Akiha's temper seems to cool a little. Throughout the entire exchange, Hisui watches us like a statue. It looks more like she's watching the inside of her eyelids to me, but this awkward silence is just the worst. There's still some time before Kohaku returns with my breakfast. Until then, I should... Let's talk about Kohaku behind her back.
Akiha, 琥珀さんのことだけど。
She did see me weenie.
琥珀がどうかしましたか？
ああ、いい人だなって。さっき玄関で怒られたよ。朝ごはんを抜いたら大きくなれませんよって。
That first line is very funny. You know more.
確かに琥珀らしいですね。それは。
あっちの家にいた頃もさ、そんな風に叱られたことなんてなかったから驚いた。おかげで、これから朝飯を抜くことはできなさそうだ。
I think having someone around who scolds you is an important thing. A person to kick your butt into gear. I think it's like super important. Too many people don't go anywhere in life or have bad things occur because they don't have someone, you know, on them to be better.
そうですね。兄さんはただでさえ貧血気味なんですから、朝食を抜くなんてもってのほかです。
Honestly, I've never really noticed a correlation between my dizzy spells and my food intake, but I decided it's in my best interest to just nod my head without any further protest.
お待たせしました。梅じそと卵のおかゆ、登場です。
Didn't you say this was a Western breakfast? There is one thing Western there, and it is the eggs. Kohaku cheerfully pushes the food cart into the room.
おしゃべりはここまでだな。時間もないし、ちゃちゃっと食っちまおう。
兄さん、その乱暴な言葉遣いはやめてください。
Sorry, what? Chow down? So you're saying dead ass is okay, but chow down isn't?
ありゃ、すっかり元の調子に戻ったか。俺の心配をしてくれていた方がおとなしくてよかったのに。
バカな発言も控えてください。戻るも戻らないも、私、兄さんの心配なんてしていませんので。
Oh, I'm sure. Akiha turns away from me with a huff. I give Kohaku a fond smile as I pull the bowl of porridge closer and take a spoonful. Little eating noises. You think the Foley people actually had to, like, eat some food for that? Or is it from a sound bank? I'd love to be a Foley artist. I think that'd be one of the most fun jobs. Just making sounds for things. You
いっ
know,
てらっしゃいませ。
like whenever there's like violence in something and like bones breaking and horrible gore noises, it's usually just like taking a wet piece of celery and snapping it just gives the perfect noise. Hisui accompanies me to the main gate as usual. However, I notice her hesitant stare and watch as she takes a short breath like she's struggling to find the right words.
様、昨日はどうなされたのですか?
Yeah, see, so she's showing, again, surprise about what happened last night, which goes against what we saw last night of her talking to us. So it's pretty clear that that wasn't her talking to us last night.
別に何もないよ。学校で気
Right?
分が
Very
悪くな
different
って
personalities.
早退してここに帰ってくる途中で
On my way home.
公園で休んでいただけだ。でも確かに秋葉の言う通り軽率だった。これからは気をつける。
I mean, you also walked the wrong way. That was also a problem.
責めているのではありません。今朝の四季様はひどく無理をしているように見えたのです。
That's every day.
どうかみちみちお気をつけください。
Every day's a struggle. It must have been hard for her to confront me like this. She sees me off with a deep bow. Giving them all full body sprites is so good. Because then you can do that. You can place them far in the background and make much more evocative scenery. More and more school uniforms dot the streets as I get closer to school. It's 7:45 a.m. Everyone's ambling along, probably because there's still plenty of time left till homeroom. My pace is just as leisurely as that of the other students. I don't have to worry about being late. In fact, I don't have a care in the world. I start my day like any other. The school gates are just on the other side of the crossing. The light turns red, so I stop at the curb. I can see the school's perimeter wall across the street. Protected by the guardrails lining the sidewalk, a steady stream of students heads for the gates. There's no one here but Soya High students at this time of day. Or at least, there shouldn't be. And yet, through the rush of passing cars, I catch a glimpse of white. I do like her boots. That's a good change. It's her. Ethereal. White. Undeniable. Golden hair shimmering like the sun. Long, thin eyebrows framing crimson eyes. I've only ever seen her once before. Could never mistake her. But this is impossible. I will say, I don't know if it's because we're, this early on, but I feel like that heartbeat sound effect is every single time. It's so often in the original, and we haven't heard it that much, so that's good. This is impossible. Yesterday, I cut her to pieces with my own hands. That totally got the video demonetized, too. No, that can't be. It was all just a terrible dream. Hisui, Akiha, and Kohaku told me. Nothing of the sort. That's simply what I wanted to believe. But it wasn't a dream. It wasn't a hallucination. It was all real. I killed her. I killed her. I killed her. I, without question, killed her. But if I did, then why? Why is she here? Right here. Right in front of my eyes. The traffic light turns green. The students surrounding me start to cross the street. I'm the only one who hangs behind, standing motionless on my side of the road. She sits there on the guardrail, casually swinging her legs back and forth. It almost seems like she's waiting for something, or someone. I have no way of telling how long she's been waiting, but her expression is relaxed and unassuming. Is she really waiting for someone? Her restless movements betray a nervous excitement as if she were waiting on a lover. hold on. She's waiting. Who is she waiting for? Isn't it obvious? Isn't it incredibly obvious? I do the same thing. Anyone would. If I were killed by someone, if I could, I'd go straight after the person who did it. I've got a terrible feeling about this. A chill crawls its way up my back like a centipede. It feels as though my spine wants to burst out through my mouth. The woman in white looks my way. Our eyes meet. We're thinking the same thing. Everything exactly what I was afraid of. No. It's all just a coincidence. There has to be. There's no reason to feel like this. We've never met. No connection exists between the two of us. She's just a stranger that looks like her. She's got to be waiting for someone else. The only other explanation is that this moment I'm experiencing is a nightmare. If it weren't, there'd be no way a dead person could be alive and walking around, not after being dismembered like that. So why? Why is she looking at me with that wicked smile on her face? That satisfied grin of someone who has just spotted their killer. As if to say, I've been waiting for you. The woman pushes herself off the guardrail and raises her hand in greeting. She lightly brushes her hair back as she turns to face me. It's just a bad dream. The traffic light blinks red. Those boots are so much better. I love these boots. Sorry. It's very weird probably for me to say that, but it is a character design thing that looks really good. The woman waltzes through the oncoming traffic without even flinching once. She's less than 3 meters away now. I don't know whether this is a dream or reality. That's a scary chord. I shout at her, but it changes nothing. I've got to escape. I have to get away from the woman in white. I run. I run with all my might. Without a shred of shame or concern for my reputation, I run, pushing and shoving my way through passerbys as my feet strike the pavement. My breath grows ragged. My heart pounds and screams for me to stop. But I can't stop running. My face must look unrecognizable, etched with such My face must look unrecognizable, etched with such... Why can't I say that? Etched with such exhaustion and pain. That is hard to say. My vision gets distorted by the tears stinging my eyes. My throat burns, my lungs squeeze and twist to wring out my breath. I'm shaking uncontrollably. It feels like the tendons in my hands might tear from the convulsions. My feet hit the ground haphazardly, legs move without the time to think where they land. Each step sends a numbing shock up my thighs. That's fine. Even if my legs tear themselves to shreds, that's fine. Just, if I stop running here, I might lose my mind. I look over my shoulder. I can see the woman in white casually coming my way. All doubt vanishes from my mind. She's following me. The woman I killed is following me. That alone is plenty of reason for me to lose my mind. My heart feels like it might explode, but I ignore it and keep running. Whenever I look around, she's still there, sauntering behind me as if she were taking a simple stroll while I keep fleeing with all my might. What if she just had like Heelys on? And it's just like it looks like she's just kind of walking, but she's like rolling towards us. I tilt my head to the skies. My arms feel heavy. All sensation has long abandoned my legs. I'm running faster than I ever have in my life, so why can't I shake her? Why can't I outrun her leisurely pace? I'm completely out of breath. I don't even know how many kilometers I've run at full speed. And she's still behind me, walking, with all the effort of someone out for a stroll, but she never fails to lag behind, like the image of a ghost seared into my proverbial rearview mirror. Oh. That's a bit scary. There's nothing funny about the situation, but I can't help but laugh. Oh, buddy. I think you need a bit more oxygen. A stream of laughter bursts out. I keep running. My body screams that I might collapse and die if I continue, but still, I keep running. It's clear why I have to run. The second she catches me, she'll kill me. I don't have any basis for thinking that, but I know better than anyone that I'd be fooling myself if I tried to laugh it off. I don't need reasons or evidence. It's just how the world works to reap what I've sown. An eye for an eye, a life for a life. Since I killed her, she now has the right to kill me. It's as simple as that. It's a simple fact that my life will end the second I get caught. Whoa, buddy, you okay? A villager put a pitfall here or something? What happened? I fall, sprawling pathetically on the ground. I didn't even stumble or trip. My limbs just couldn't carry me a single step further. I crawl across the ground to the wall. With my palms against the stone, I will myself back out to get back on my feet, but it's no use. The second I lift myself off the ground, my knees give out and I fall down with a thud. I can no longer move my body. Not even an inch. I throw my head backwards and wheeze for air. It hurts. I can't get enough oxygen at all. My brain is starving. I can't think. I can't make sense of what I'm doing. Why am I doing this? Why? How? Is the woman I killed still alive? I cut her down perfectly. Thoroughly. I massacred her in the most extreme way possible. So how could she be waiting outside my school? How could she just sit there and smile at me when I arrived? That's right. I definitely killed her. I definitely killed her, and yet. I definitely killed her, and yet. Why? Why? Why?
あれ追いかけっこはもう終わり
The sound of footsteps coming closer. A subdued noise that echoes through the alley. The woman shrugs her shoulders, as if disappointed, and speaks to me as I lie slumped against the wall.
こんにちは。昨日は本当にお世話になったわ。
She faces me with a carefree smile. I feel like I'm going crazy. I don't know what to make of her expression. Still wearing that smile, she brazenly enters the closed-off alleyway.
それとこれ、忘れ物。困るのよね。証拠になるようなものを落とされちゃう。
A black object lands in front of me with a light thud. My bag. Oh. Oh yeah, that's really bad. Oh, that is incredibly incriminating. I hadn't even noticed I'd lost it yet. No. Hold on. What did she just say? Incriminating. Did she just say incriminating? Shit, I've got to get out of here. I urge my legs to move, only to push my back harder into the concrete wall blocking my way.
追いかけっこは終わりなんでしょだってここ袋小路だもん。おまけに人気もないから邪魔が入る心配もないし。
The woman looks oddly cheerful. Dead end? With no one around? I look around in a panic and curse myself for my stupidity. Why the hell did I decide to flee here of all places? It's like I'm begging to be killed.
長かったな。あれから18時間、ようやくあなたを捕まえた。
The woman takes another step towards me.
お前。
何？
お前は 確かに。
ええ、昨日あなたに殺された女よ。覚えていてくれて嬉しいわ。
A few things I'll say. Her new voice, at first, I couldn't tell, but now I can really tell it's the same voice as the little redhead from Bocchi the Rock. But I watched in the 7th anniversary stream her speak casually. Her casual voice is so much deeper. It's wild that this is the same person as that voice. Like, it was shocking to hear. It's a response I least wanted to hear, regardless of whether this is real or not.
ふざけるな。死んだ人間が生きてるはずがないだろ。
They could have done the funniest thing. They could have done the funniest thing and say people die when they're killed. Come on. I know they wouldn't, but it would have been so funny.
そうだけど、そう驚くことでもないんじゃない？
There's no way that line won't be in the Fate Stay Night remake, though.
単に殺された後生き返っただけなんだから。
The woman says it as if it's nothing, coming ever closer. The space between us shrinks steadily.
生き返った。
I sit in a daze as I digest what she's told me. She came back to life. Does she mean she came back from the brink of death? What, did she go to a doctor and undergo an operation to bring her back? Did she have a Fortnite res juice? I don't know anything about Fortnite. I don't know. All I do know is that I said if there's ever a Type Moon collab in Fortnite, that's when I'll do a video on it, and that was the promise I gave someone, and every day they hold it over me and they say, it's going to occur, you must confront it when it happens.
バカにすんな。あんなに手足をバラバラにされて生き返る人間がいるもんか。
Well, buddy.
うん。だって私、人間じゃないもの。
Yep. Her words are too simple to interpret any other way. I'm not human. That's what the woman just told me.
人間じゃない。
当たり前でしょ？手足をバラバラにされて一人でに再生できる人間がいると思う？
There's probably some mage who has some BS way of doing that. No human could. That much is fact. If someone could, they might look like a human, but there's no way they'd be considered the same anymore. Someone who can die and come back to life, a being that doesn't care if it ceases to breathe, one that can recover fully even after being cut to pieces. Something like that may look human, but definitely can't be called one. It appears that's the true form of the woman in front of me. I try to laugh at the situation, but my throat is too wrecked to let any sound through.
なんだよ、それ。
It isn't funny enough to be a joke. And even if it were a joke, it all fits together a little too well. I mean, she's got a point. If she isn't human, then it could actually be possible for her to come back to life even after being massacred in such a way. My mind finally starts to settle down. I recall the words of the one who saved me so long ago. First, I need to take a good look. Then I need to think everything through. That's the type of situation I'm in right now.
人間じゃないって言ったな。それじゃあ何なんだ。
私は吸血鬼って呼ばれてるけど。
I do like how she says we're usually called vampires.
わかりやすく言えば人の血を吸って生きてる怪物かな。
That's much better. Her being a vampire makes all this easier to understand. Even I know what a vampire is. They may just be the stuff of legends, but I doubt there's anyone out there who hasn't heard of them. Bram Stoker wrote a famous book about them once. In Western fiction, they're often described as undying monsters in human form. Sometimes they're also described as bloodsuckers, which is what they are in a nutshell. They're monsters that drink blood, so of course they're not human.
そう。吸血鬼なの。
It sounds so ridiculous, just saying it out loud merely makes me burst into a mad laugh. I'm going to get killed any moment now. Yet, I feel incredibly calm about it. What can I say? I just don't have the energy to care anymore. Not that it would do me any good. She seems satisfied as she peers down at my pathetic figure. Wait, I thought vampires weren't able to walk around in broad daylight. No, never mind. That's not really something for me to be focused on right now.
で、その怪物が俺なんかに何の用だって言うんだ。
I blurt out the words in a fit of frustration. The woman looks taken aback for a moment. She crosses her arms in front of her chest, looking me over with a small pout.
驚いた。昨日私に何をしたか忘れたの？あなたは見ず知らずの私を会った瞬間にバラバラに殺してくれたのよ。それで何の用だなんてよっぽど手慣れているみたいね。
She does make a very good point. It is funny for him to do this, and then, like, from her perspective of just this thing to occur, and then she chases him down to be like, hey, what's up? And then he's like, what do you want with me? Right? Yeah. From her perspective, I get it. She looks more baffled than angry, but I could say I'm equally baffled. I mean, the woman I killed with my own two hands is standing right in front of me, grumbling that I had the gall to kill her.
ちょっと聞いてるの？殺人狂。
Okay. That's a pretty good translation of that.
ああ、聞いてる。我ながらものすごい悪運持ちだなって今噛み締めてるところなんだ。悪いけどちょっと黙っててくれないか。
He's like, just wait, I need to think about this. I need something to blame. Otherwise, I'll end up destroying myself. I've learned just how bad my luck is, though it's a little late for it. For whatever reason, I was overcome by the urge to kill this woman, so I rode the urge till I finished the job. Everything I can recall is fuzzy, so I convinced myself that it was just a dream. But it wasn't. And the person I killed wasn't even human. I've come to accept that I'm strange and defective, but compared to, well, all of this, I'm actually on the normal side. I break out in laughter. But it's not all bad news. If the woman I killed really has come back to life, that means I haven't killed anyone. I don't know about that logic, buddy. That's like saying, oh, when I punched you in the face, the bruise is now gone, so now it's like I've never punched anyone at all. I might have performed the act of killing, yet she's still alive and well. At the very least, that's something for me to take comfort in. That's right. If I didn't kill anyone, then everything might be fine. Shikitono could actually go back to his normal day-to-day life. Sure, in exchange for that, I'm now being hunted down by a deranged lunatic, but that's better than being a murderer. It's still a case of bad luck, but it's bad luck of the very best kind. Though the whole situation might be ridiculous, at least I'm not the only one who's crazy.
いいよ、落ち着いた。言いたいことがあるんだろう。文句でも恨み事でも思う存分言ってくれ。
そりゃ言いたいことはいっぱいあるけど、あなた変わった人ね。吸血鬼を前にして何その態度。
It's been a rough couple days.
悪かったな。必死に居直ってるんだよ。そうでもしないと自分で自分を殺しかねない。
He does keep a knife in his pocket all the time, which again is a terrible idea for a student, but if she's gonna kill me, I wish she'd get it over with. I've already dealt with my body giving out on me for 7 years now. No matter how terrible the act, I'm prepared to recognize that it really happened. Then again, never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd have to deal with a situation like this in the first place. The woman gives me a drawn-out look. Her gaze is sharp, but I don't sense any hostility. This is all so backwards. Isn't it natural to want an eye for an eye? Shouldn't she be itching to pay me back?
何ジロジロ見てるんだ。お前は俺に復讐しに来たんだろ。なら。
ええ、確かに殺されたら殺し返すのがセオリーよね。それがお望みならしてあげるけど、とりあえず今はパスかな。それ、損益が合わないから。
Just her saying like, I'm gonna be real, you're not worth getting the blood out of my fingernails is pretty raw. Her eyes are firmly fixated on me.
ねえ、反省してる？
え、
Her eyes widen, or sorry, my eyes widen in surprise. I was looking at her big old peepers. Her words just sounded so out of place.
私を殺しちゃったことを反省しているのかって聞いてるの。それでね、もしあなたが反省しているのなら許してあげようかなって。あなた、人間にしては嘘が下手そうな感じだし。
Buddy, don't look a gift vampire in the fangs. Take this opportunity.
反省って
Be honest. Be like, yo, I've been eating myself up inside every second since doing it.
あなたがごめんなさいって言ってくれれば、私としてはそれでいいよ。
I can't believe it. And not just the part where my murder victim is telling me that she'll forgive me. I can't believe how amazingly gentle she sounds.
もう、こっちが真面目に聞いているんだから、ちゃんと答えるのが筋ってものでしょ。
He does just kind of stare into space and think about all this quite a bit. And I do like how Arkwood's like, can you answer?
ほら、早く答えて。反省しているのか、していないのか。そこをはっきりさせないと先に進めないんだから。
Do I regret it? Well, that goes without saying.
そりゃ
Whoa? Whoa. I try to speak, but something holds me back. You can't. If you say something now, you won't be able to continue living in ignorant bliss. Keep pretending this was a dream. Keep pretending you didn't notice. Keep pretending to be normal, it tells me.
そりゃ、何？
My throat tightens. The fear begs me not to speak. But... Cicada sounds, please. But I can't run from this. It's something I have to face. I think someone who believed in me told me something similar once. Oh wait, no, is this the tree with Aoko? If you truly want to live a normal life, then face your own sins. Face your own actions. Never ever look away. Because that tree could be one of two trees.
そりゃ後悔してる。
All these mixes of the main theme are so good. Shout out to the one in FGO also.
なんであれ俺は人を殺してしまったんだから。
I wring my Let me try that again. I wring my confession from my chest. As soon as the first words spill past my lips, there's no stopping them. I finally accepted my own failings. I killed this woman. I killed her with no mercy, for no reason, for my own gratification.
そのことを後悔も反省もできる。できるのなら。
If I could be permitted such a cheap
何
gesture.
度でも頭を下げる。でもそれは意味のないことだ。事実として俺はあんたを手にかけた。だから。
What I did was unforgivable. That she was somehow resurrected is no excuse. Shikitono murdered the very woman he sees before him. I am guilty of a violation of the highest order, of an act of unfathomable violence.
だからあんたは俺に復讐していい。俺が逃げたのはお前が怖かったからじゃない。俺は俺自身の行為から。
Slumped against the alley wall, I confess my sins to the empty air. It's as if I've finally woken up. I've spent the past day in a fugue, in a fragile, transient dream, in a brief refuge from the reality of my own depravity. But now at last, it's time to pay the piper.
そっか。いい人なんだね、あなた。
I don't know about that. I feel like, unless the remake changes a lot, no one in Tsukihime is a good person, except maybe Hisui. I think Hisui might be a truly, really good person. I look up at her in surprise. She's smiling. She might call herself a vampire, but her expression is perfectly sweet and honest.
決めた。やっぱりあなたには私の手伝いをしてもらうわ。
は？
Her smile is different now. More meaningful, less innocent. Help? Wants me to help her?
おい、手伝いってなんだ？
だからあなたを許してあげる代償。この町に根付いている吸血鬼の始末をちょっと手伝ってもらおうかなって。
I don't understand any of this.
待て、許す代償ってなんだ？っていうかそんな簡単に許せるのか？そもそも吸血鬼の始末って、お前自分のことを吸血鬼って言ってなかったか？
Buddy, if you know anything about vampires, it's that there's never just one vampire.
ああ、違う。私は吸血鬼だけど、町に根付いている吸血鬼はまた別物よ。あなた、この町に住んでいる人でしょ？なら、最近起きている殺人事件も知ってるわよね。
いや、まあ。
The sudden callback to the familiar news story snaps me out of my worked up state. Somehow the strange circumstances around those murders seemed more real than whatever is happening to me here.
そりゃあ知ってるよ。連続通り魔だろ。もう何人も殺されてる事件で、被害者は血液を抜かれて。
Bro is putting it all together. He's putting it together. The moment I say it, I suddenly realize what the woman is getting at. A very simple conclusion.
私が言ってるのはそっちの吸血鬼のこと。自分を殺せってあなたは言うけど、私が殺したい相手は今のところそいつだけよ。この殺人犯ってあなたたちにとっても敵なんじゃないの？
My mind is running circles trying to keep up with the influx of new data. Sure, I get the basics, I understand what she's saying, but on some fundamental level, I feel like all common sense has well and truly left the building.
ほんと、人間って非効率すぎて理解できないわ。自分たちで吸血鬼の仕業かと言っているのに、誰も吸血鬼退治をしないんだもの。森が燃えているのに逃げ出さないリスみたい。
いや、だって吸血鬼なんているはずないだろ。
Dissatisfied with my response, her lips purse into a pout. Well, sorry for denying that most people think you exist. Right. The mysterious creature in front of me did say she was a vampire as well.
でも、それじゃあ何か？お前はこの町で殺人事件を起こしている吸血鬼を。
And you want me, of all people, to somehow help you?
ええ、何しろ予定が大きく崩れちゃって。昨日、なぜか見ず知らずの殺人鬼に襲われて殺されちゃったから。あれは参ったな。もう完璧な不意打ちで反撃する間もなく17個に切断されたんだもの。
Her two different smiles are so different feeling.
初めて見ただけの相手を尾行して殺したら満足して去っていくとかどうなの？ほんとひどいなんてものじゃないわ。言い逃れもできないぐらい完全な殺人鬼よね、そいつ。
Shit, yeah, that's pretty much what I was like yesterday. As much as I'd love to refute her, I'm fresh out of ammunition.
私だってね、復元するまでは本当にあなたを殺すつもりだったわ。あんな屈辱を受けたのは初めてだったし、復元しきるのに8割以上の力を消費してしまったわけだし。それより何より本当にものすごく痛かったんだから。あんまりにも痛いから気が触れそうになるんだけど、やっぱりあんまりにも痛くて正気に戻るの。
I'm loving all her different sprites too. The fact that they're all like not just face swaps, but there's a lot of like different, very different full body ones. It's really good.
そんな繰り返しを一晩体験した私の気持ち、わかる？
I'm sorry, but as a human, I don't think I could even begin to imagine what that was like.
それでね、もう憎くてあなたを探したわ。目的である吸血鬼も放っておいたぐらい、それだけに熱中した。
Sorry about the cut. Had to go do some stuff.
土地の記録からあなたの服装があの学校のものだって分かったのは2時間ぐらい前の話。
Wow. Wow, you actually solved that pretty quick. And then again, it's like the only high school in the area. probably very easy to find what school it was.
本当は夜まで待って捕まえようと思ったけど、もう1分だって待ちたくなかった。それじゃあってあそこで待つことにしたの。
All things considered, not a bad strategy. So that's why she was waiting for me outside of school. After all that agony, she must have been dying to kill me. If that's the case...
わからないな。そこまで憎かったのに、どうして俺を許すなんて言うんだ。
そうね。簡単に言えば時間が経って冷静になったのかな。私も力を消費しちゃったことだし、めっためたに殺すよりぐっちゃぐちゃの盾になってもらった方が効率的だなって考えたの。
I do like her word choices here of meat shield and squishy squashy death.
おい、今よからぬことを口にしなかったか。
Which part?
え、そんなこと言った？
人のことを盾にするって言った。
She also added some pretty unfortunate adjectives to her description.
何よ、そんなの当然じゃない。私はあなたのことを許したけど、それは私個人の感情に整理をつけただけだもの。あなたが犯した殺害という行為そのものはやっぱり気持ちじゃなくて行為で贖うしかないでしょ。
いや、でしょと言われても。
I expected her to just kill me instead, but being asked to be her shield feels like a totally different kind of compensation. I can't exactly pinpoint what the difference is, but I damn sure have a bad feeling about this.
素直なんだか意地悪なんだかわからない人ね。繰り返すけど、私はあなたに殺されたのよ。想像できないでしょうけど、一度死んでから蘇生するのにはそれなりに力を消費するんだから。単純に殺されるだけならどうってことなかったわ。でもあなたの切り口は今まで見たこともない切断面で、傷口がつながらないから体を作り直すしかなかった。その結果、私は生き返るのにほとんどの力を使っちゃったんだからね。
She puffs up her cheeks in anger. It's rather comical, but oddly fitting. I guess she'd forgotten about her anger up until now, but explaining the situation is making her relive her fury.
とにかく、今の私は弱ってるの。二晩も経てば回復するだろうけど、その前に襲われたら打つ手がないの。だからその間、あなたには私の盾になってもらうから。
いや、もらうからって何勝手に決めてんだよ。
Buddy, you really don't.
あなたのせいでこうなったんだから、それぐらいはして当然でしょ。それともやっぱり反省なんかしてないっていうの？
I'm trapped by her sincere gaze. She's so unfair. All this talk about regret, or the courses of action aside, I'd really rather she just didn't look at me with them big old peepers. If you're calling yourself a monstrous vampire, you really shouldn't be going around staring down people with such pure, honest eyes, which is the theme song for Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which is a really, really good song.
お前。
I clamp down on the feelings rising in my chest. I regret my actions. I want to atone for them too. Yet, my heart keeps warning me that, as a human, I should not be teaming up with this woman.
俺は。
Without any answer at hand, I idly raise my gaze. Oh? In that moment, I see a different pair of glowing eyes staring back at me. Huh? My entire body tenses up again. Strength returns to my overtaxed legs and I force myself up from my seated position into a crouch. The woman, following my gaze, turns to look at what has appeared in the entrance of the alley. Behind her. This is confusing. Is a creature even more out of place in a human city than the vampire in front of me? It's very confusing because... Why? If there's no chaos. What? The woman looks perfectly calm, but I'm struggling to wrap my head around the situation. That's a panther. I know that much. Even a child would be able to tell what kind of animal... Oh no, I don't know about that, buddy. I don't know about that. I've learned from talking to a lot of people that their knowledge of animals is usually more basic than you'd think. And would you be like, that's a panther? I'd be like, that's clearly a lion. And you'd be like, what are you talking about? But you wouldn't see one outside of a picture book or a cage in a zoo. And somehow, here I am experiencing just how terrifying the beast is firsthand, all without anything to protect me. It stands on 4 lean, powerful limbs, muscle that seems as supple as rubber, yet hard as steel. Its form is far removed from that of a human being. This is a creature built for the sole purpose of hunting its prey. Simply seeing it awakens primal instincts that should have been cast away in the Stone Age. We might both be living creatures, but this panther is in another league. Its superior abilities leave me breathless. It's not something I can put into words. This creature and I can't coexist in the same world, much less communicate with one another. The Black Panther's body measures over 1 meter in length. Even a dog that size could easily take down a human. Here it is, eyeing me and the woman in white. Vicious claws, fangs and all, with barely 5 meters between us. Oh, you're like Dum Dum. I can't help but snap back at something so crazy. Whoop, there he goes. I'm an idiot. As if taking my voice as a signal, the panther leaps in our direction. No, that's not right, it's running. It's going so fast I thought it had leaped. Leaped? Wouldn't it be leapt? Leaped? Leapt? Would it be leapt? Anyways, leaped at us. I can't do anything. The black blur's fangs will sink into my shoulder before I even have the time to process its movements. I can see it. I am keenly aware of how this will end 1 second from now. The thought of dodging or moving away doesn't even register. But the blow comes from my side instead. The woman in white shoves me away before the shadowy creature has the chance to bite me. An effortless swipe of her hand is all it takes. At her touch, I'm flung across the alley as easily as someone might throw a ball, and I go crashing into the wall. Oh, it's the broken glass sounds which get me. I grit my teeth as I slam into the wall, back first. Pain shoots up through my spine. The woman shouts at me. I look up, expecting the beast to have crashed into the wall behind me. Instead, having lost sight of its target, the panther reacts instantly by spinning in the air and planting its feet on the wall. From there, it leaps at the opposite wall. The creature latches itself to the side of the building. Just as it seems to have found its footing, it turns its glowing gaze at me once more. Yo? My breath is still caught after the chaos. The panther pushes off against the wall and leaps at me like lightning falling from the sky. The woman placed herself into its trajectory, deflecting the oncoming bolt with a single hand. She's even faster than the panther, her slender frame even more graceful. It's frightening, unnerving even.
ちょっと、私の方が先約だってわかるでしょ？あんまり聞き分けがないと殺しちゃうわよ。
The woman's disposition hasn't changed a bit. As if heeding her threat, the panther cautiously backs away. There's around 3 meters of space between the two of them now. The panther keeps its distance. Must have realized the difference in their abilities during the brief clash. Who is she talking to? What are we doing? To a human, that panther is no doubt a monster, a beast that could easily slay any human it meets. But that woman is on a whole other level, a monster among monsters, a demon that could easily slay any monster it meets. The panther sits absolutely still as it observes the woman. Even I can tell how badly outclassed it is. The woman must seem like some insurmountable wall when viewed from the eyes of the apex predator. The atmosphere around the woman changes. The panther hadn't rattled her in the slightest, but the very air around her seems sharper than before. Oh? This is all different, I think. I don't remember this. And if it does, though, it'd be related to Chaos, who again is not in it, so what are we doing? There's no mistaking it. A group of strangers is making their way down the alley. They're walking at a leisurely pace through the dimly lit back street, ambling right in our direction.
ダメだ、来るな。ここには氷が。
I try to tell them a panther is on the loose. But as I do, red curtains flash across my vision. I rub my eyes beneath my glasses. Just now Oh, frick! Oh, that's scary! Oh, I don't like that! Yeah, I see something terrible. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair, that is terrible. I don't like that. They keep coming. They possess neither the feral instincts nor the pride of the panther. They lurch forward, completely disregarding the woman in white, as well as the fact that another few steps will doom them. But why would they? These creatures have no brain to think, nor a heart to feel fear. They aren't alive. They can't be. Oh, I didn't even see the smile of the one in the back. Ooh, no! They're engulfed in flame. Black smoke billowing from their eyes and mouth, and yet they keep moving forward. Oh yeah, those are horrible. They're dead. They have to be. Their hands are outstretched as if they were seeking salvation, but from their fingertips drips a thick oil. The drops of oil splash into tongues of flame as they hit the ground. Even from this distance, I realize that the oil-like substance must be their stagnant blood. Oh, a new type. Gundam. The woman in white focuses her attention on the things before her. Two of the three cadavers reach for her. The last one turns in my direction and leers at me with its burning sockets as I stand there dumbstruck. Like those dead, I'm like, yeah, I understand. They're fire-based. Cool. I know who is the fire-based one. But that panther is very confusing. It's got me. The panther used the fatally short window to strike. It's even faster than the last time it leaped. This time, I didn't even register it moving. The panther bears its weight against me, as if trying to push me over, and runs its incisors down my neck. A tightness grips my throat. There's a constricting sensation at the nape of my neck. It's not my skin, though. The collar of my school uniform is being bitten and pulled. Wait, what? I'm pushed against the wall again. I've been dragged into a dark corner of the alley. The panther roughly presses me into heaped piles of garbage. What am I even doing? I'm berating the panther as it has me pinned down. But for whatever reason, it decides not to follow through with its attack. Perhaps the beast realizes it has bigger problems to deal with. Okay, so this is not a sheer animal. There's some thinking here to move us like that. I don't know, is it gonna be a, like a familiar? Or is it maybe someone using, like, animal transformation magecraft? But that's usually, like, only partial, right? There's very few, I think, that turn them into full animals, right? I don't think so. Hidden behind some of the waste, I sit up and peer over at the woman. The smoldering dead are brave enough to get within 3 meters of the woman, a feat even the panther dared not to try. And the moment they do, the very air wails in agony. The burst of wind came from the woman's arms, slicing through the air, cuts through her targets like a bulldozer, leaving not a trace of the 3 bodies. My head hurts. It feels like tiny thorns are bouncing within my eye sockets, a painful red sensation jabbing at me like knives, like it were trying to deny all I'd seen. With a resigned shrug of her shoulders, the woman turns to me. She doesn't look like she holds the slightest interest in the corpses she just eradicated. The woman boldly walks over to me, as I sit half stunned on the ground. The panther is long gone. I must have taken one look at the scene just now and decided it wanted none of it. That the woman was simply far too strong.
Oi. 今の、なんだ?
My headache is concentrated behind my eyes. The pain searing through my cranium seems to be throwing off whatever part of my brain controls my speech. What the hell is this woman?
何ってただの死者でしょ。敵の吸血鬼の使い魔よ。ちょっと珍しいというか初めて見るタイプだったけど。
そうじゃない。お前の話だ。
He's like, zombies I understand, but... The sharp stinging in my head is begging for some sense of normalcy. She's a monster. The out-of-place panther, and those impossible flaming corpses, even they appear perfectly grounded when compared to her. Through a flicker of her arm, the woman made a gust of wind with the power of a tornado. Such a monster couldn't coexist among us frail humans for a second.
私？だから吸血鬼だって言ってるじゃない。あれ？もしかしてあなた吸血鬼って単語知らない？ここじゃ一般教養だって聞いたんだけどな。
For such a powerful monster, she's pretty dense. But I can take advantage of this window to force strength into my trembling limbs. That fight just now led her away from the alley entrance. If I run with all my might, I may just have a shot at escaping. I take a deep breath. Hello? What are you doing? You okay? Just as I'm about to start running, I catch a glimpse of her face. For some reason, I suddenly feel calm again.
おい、どうした？怪我でもしたのか？
怪我なんてそんなのするわけないでしょ。あんな呪いのにやられるなんて考えたこともないわ。でもちょっとまずい展開になってきた。こうなったら是が非でもあなたには盾になってもらわないといけないみたい。
は？
That's right, we were just talking about that nonsense. Earlier, I thought she might have been speaking metaphorically about the whole meat shield thing, but now I'm not so sure anymore. She sounds dead serious. She actually wants me to act as her shield against panthers and flaming corpses, and who knows what else.
バカなこと言うな、このバカ！今の見てたろ。俺に何ができるって言うんだ。お前一人の方がよっぽどマシだろうが。
そうでもないわ。今ので本当に空っぽになっちゃったから。あなたたち風に言うと生きてるだけで精一杯みたいな。
Is that how it is? Doesn't look like it at all, but sure. Honestly, I'm half glad that what I saw was just a last-ditch effort and not something she could shake out of her sleeve at any time. But that's not the issue here.
精一杯とか言われても困る。そりゃできることなら何でもする。でも無理だ。無理だろ、どう考えても。俺にはあんなのを追い払う力はない。悪いけど盾にだってなれはしない。
嘘よ。あなたは私を殺したのよ。そのあなたがどうしてそんな嘘を言うの？
殺したって、あれは。
When I killed her, it was like I'd lost myself. I would help her if I could, but the kind of help she's asking for is way beyond anything I can do.
なら私が眠っている間、周りを見張ってくれるだけでいい。それくらいなら問題ないでしょ。
I can't help but feel myself weaken before those eyes. Interesting. Now this is where I'd normally be like, oh, there'd probably be a choice here for picking which route you want, but as far as I'm aware, it is... Right there's pretty much... Also, I'm just looking here. Some of these actually look like they, Oh no, it just shows the route you're going. Okay, I thought some of these were like dead ends, and I'm like, really? I mean... I kind of want to pick this one just because we have to be on her route, right? I kind of want to pick this one just to see if she's going to kill me. I want to see a dead end. Sure, no, there's no way. There's no way I can agree to that, no matter how persuasively she looks at me. Women coming back from the dead, black panthers, burning zombies. All these supernatural forces are just too much for me.
悪いが協力はできない。俺はただの学生なんだ。 何を期待しているか知らないけど。
ふん。ただの学生っていうのは見ず知らずの女の子をバラバラに切断しちゃうんだ。
I'd say in some hamlets of the world. I'd say that's a bit more normal in some places. That strikes home. My eyes are every bit of as abnormal as this woman, but they're not the reason I've ended up here. I could have lived a normal life like a normal human being, if only I'd never met this impossible woman.
違う。俺はお前に出会うまでまともだった。人殺しなんてする気もなかったし、それなりにうまくやっていた。そうだ。あの時だけが特別だった。俺は確かにろくでなしだけど、それだってお前さえ見かけなければ。
It is kind of insane he's blaming her here.
ああ、もううるさい。
Whoa. The pupils of her crimson eyes flare wide. Instantly, the air around her snaps taut. The feeling she gives off does a 180. I wonder if her glare alone could stop my heart.
勘違いしないで。あなたは私を殺したの。
For some reason, I'm looking at the word murdered, and my brain read it as murdered.
本来ならここでその首を引き抜いてるところをあなたが使えそうだから助けてあげているだけなのよ。
Oh my god. Jeez. The world fades into desolate silence. Only her eyes remain. My burning throat and trembling fingers are frozen solid. A chill of terror races up my spine. My animal instincts scream in unison. She's right. I did not understand. This is no woman. This is a killing machine in human form. I can't breathe. Or rather, I realize that breathing would spell my death. A breath, a sideways glance, a finger twitch, anything. If I make the slightest movement, some unimaginably huge presence will crush me like a bug. That isn't my imagination. It's my instinct showing me my inescapable future. My limbs scream at me to run. Because I don't want to die. My brain resists with all its might. Because I don't want to die. I'm dead if I don't run. Dead if I do. Dead if I stay still. Dead if I move a muscle. But if I do nothing, this terror will tear my mind to shreds. But if I do anything, this monster will tear my body to shreds. Oh, I see. She's going to kill me whatever I do. My psyche shatters with that realization. Contradictory flight impulses leave me paralyzed. All I feel is the cold horror of my mind being peeled apart and pulverized piece by piece. My torment stretches on and on into eternity. And then suddenly, it's over. My knees buckle, and I crumple to the ground. Finally released from her suppressive gaze, I wrap my arms around myself. Thank goodness. I'm still alive.
どう？少しは自分の立場分かってくれたかしら？
If anything, I understand less than ever. As I look up at this monster in women's clothing, it's all I can do to stop my teeth from chattering.
できるできないの話なんてしていないの。やるなら生かしてあげる。やらないのなら殺してあげる。ほら、簡単でしょ？私は単にあなたに生きるか死ぬかを聞いているだけなんだから。
My voice catches in my throat, but instinctively, I'm already nodding my assent.
よろしい。これで契約は成立っと。
She extends a hand to help me to my feet.
私はアルクエイド。うん。長い名前だからアルクエイドだけでいいわ。心素って区分けされる吸血鬼だけど、あなたはなんていう人？
That might be the strangest self-introduction I've ever heard. I sigh. Either I've accepted my insane new reality, or I just don't have anything left in me to argue.
塔の式 あいにくただの学生だよ。前もって言っておくけど、本当に何の役にも立たないからな。
I take the woman's, Arkwood's, hand and climb to my feet. She peers at me intently for a moment, then offers her hand again for a shake.
それじゃあよろしくね、シキ。私を殺した責任ちゃんと取ってもらうんだから。
She grins wickedly, her left hand outstretched. I must be the first and last person in the world to be repaying someone for their own murder. What else am I to do? Against my better judgment, I shake hands with this mysterious vampire, this woman in white. Few things. Number one, there is a full chance that I had to replace that audio because they made it very clear that they will be copywriting people for using it. So I'll see if I can just live with the demonetization. That's fine. Where the frick are we here? What are we doing? Wait, what? Okay. Huh? Even the bars are different. This is someone else's perspective. That's interesting. Okay, first off, let me do my thoughts. Great anime opening. That was not a first time thing for me to see. I watched that so many times, although for a long time the only version was this like shitty 60 FPS like AI enhanced version. Stop doing that. Stop making 15, 30 hour-long minute versions of video game songs. Like, make it end normally, but also stop doing 60 frame per second, interpolated stuff. It's not how it's meant to be. Thankfully, they uploaded it officially there. There's like a few things that might happen. One, that goes up. I can't monetize the audio. It's fine. Whatever. Two, it goes up. I replace the audio. You get the visuals. Because they say if you can mute the audio, it's fine. Sure, I might do that. Option three, it's entirely cut. Go watch it in the link in the description. So, yeah. No, I've seen that before. Really good. Really good. Good vibes in that. And I do know that the CL route is different. I've not watched the CL one. I've only watched that one there. So, curious, right? Speaking of curious, I'm curious what's going on here. And we're gonna have to figure out what's going on here. And next time, guys, we will save and see where it puts us. What does this say? Let's just put it here. Alice in the River of Flames. I hope it's not that Alice. Huh. Really curious. Alright, guys. I'll see you next time for some more Let's Play Tsukihime, a piece of glue. Blah, 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 blah. Let me try that again. Tsukihime, a piece of blue glass moon. Ciao.
Yo.